How you doing? I want to discuss something that is not often discussed. I don't think that I've ever heard it being discussed, so I want to talk about it, and that's The Purge. Many of us can remember the movies The Purge. On a certain day at a certain time, people are allowed to go out and hurt other people and purge the land of so-called undesirables. This is not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is what Scripture calls dead works. A lot of times from the ego perspective, we're trying to manifest something. All of a sudden, when we get into the vibration of that manifestation, we notice that other things seem to take place in our lives that are not always so desirable. And we say, well, if this is what it takes to manifest this thing that I'm trying to manifest, then I'm not going to do that anymore. And we think that manifestation is a bad thing. A lot of times what you are experiencing is a purge. It's like having a withdrawal. You get on certain types of medications, or you drink coffee, or you smoke cigarettes, or you like sugar. You decide not to partake of that action any longer. We tend to have these withdrawals. But same thing happens when we're making a shift in our lives and we're moving from one level to the next level. A lot of times people will drop off. Sometimes these people are people that we think that we can't do without. What's happening is the universe is taking you to a whole new level, but you're going through a purge process. And many people that come into their own, or they come into a great deal of wealth, sometimes a new relationship, other people begin to fall off. Or it's like when we're making room for a new suit or new items, new clothing, whatever. When we make room for this, what we find ourselves doing is getting rid of some of the old stuff. That's a purging taking place. Why am I talking about a purge? What I want to do is encourage you when you're going through change, just because all hell seems to break out on the without. Neville would often say sometimes someone was trying to manifest more money and all of a sudden they lose their job, and he would often say good, because he knew that that purge was needed. A lot of times the things that you're trying to hold on at the ego level, Spirit is trying to move you beyond that. And a lot of times, because you won't take the necessary actions, the universe will set up events that will allow you to purge locations, purge people, purge events from your lives so that you can go to a higher level of existence. Scripture says this about purging. In Hebrews 9:14, we're told, "Purge your consciousness from dead works to serve the living God." Now remember that I say that God is the good that one desires. If you're focused on the past, what you thought was good for you, even if you knew that that thing wasn't good for you, but you wanted it anyway, Scripture says, purge your conscience of those dead things. Jesus said at one place, "Let the dead bury the dead." When we're trying to hold on to the past, we can't advance into our future. It's important that we let go of our dead past so that we can advance towards our more glorious future. A lot of times people seek to manifest their SP. It was a horrific relationship. The person cheated on them, the person hurt them, whatever. They're calling 100 people and reaching out to all these gurus trying to manifest their SP back. But Spirit says, I want something more in this case. And so doors begin to close. You're seeking to have all these people open. The person gets into a relationship taken out of your life. And you're doing everything in your power to rekindle that bad relationship. We're told, purge your conscience from dead works. That work was no longer serving you. Let that go so that you can open up to the bigger, better, more. Many of us can't get our ideal relationship. because we're focused on a old relationship. Can't get more money because we're focused on lack. Can't get our optimal health because we keep telling our old health story or lack of health story. Scripture says, purge yourself from dead works. Purge yourself from those things that are not taking you to where you want to go. Now, sometimes when we won't do this at an ego sense level, the universe, God, source, life, spirit begins to orchestrate things in order to make sure that the door of that dead past is closed, that there's no other option. So then, like I said, many of us reach out to 100 people, 200 people, 1,000 people and say, listen, I'm trying to get my SP back. Is there some way that I can manifest? But that door has been closed. Everything in life reveals to you that that door is no longer open to you. Is that a bad thing? At an ego level, there's a death that needs to take place. You need to die to that old ideal of that old relationship so that you can give birth to a newer, more abundant relationship, newer, more abundant job, newer, more abundant health. Until you let go of that dead past, those dead works, and begin serving or living from the state, God, the good that one desires, from the state of the good that you desire, you're going to find yourself in a perpetual cycle. Many of you are living out the exact same day for the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years that you've done previously. And there's nothing new in your life, but you keep affirming bigger, better, more, but your actions reflect the old dead past. It said, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. How do we serve God, the good that one desires? Neville speaks of the Kabbalah and it says, we serve God through mind and speech. What are you giving your attention to morning, noon, and night? What is your conversation? Whatever that is, God is doing that through you, with you, as you. When we serve God, when we begin seeking the bigger, better, more, when we begin seeking the more abundant life, when we seek that life that's of our best interests, then we're well on our way to creating the life that we desire. But another way that we serve God is from a place of love. It says, hear, O Israel. Remember that Israel is the man, the woman who walks, who talks, who acts as God. The Lord your God is one. God encompasses the human race. Each one of us are the byproduct of the living God. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind, and with all of your strength. And the second is you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no separation. So when you're moving and acting from a place of love, you're serving God. When you're loving yourself appropriately and no longer allowing yourself to be in those dead relationships, you're serving God. When you're honoring people and you're serving them from the highest level of integrity, you're serving God. When you're taking care of your life and you're living your best life, you're serving God. But remember this, creators, that only you can create your perfect world, not God or man. Only you can create your perfect world. This is Coach DeCarlo saying, have a great and abundant day.